What is up, Amos Live family? You're watching Amos Live on Saturday, November 11th, 2023. My name is Boy, and once again, we're near Mecca's, where at the moment runway 27 is the only runway open for arrivals. We might get a few droplets from a rain shower that is passing just east of me. If I look, yeah, well, maybe not. We should stay dry most of the time. I am in a dry configuration out here, do have umbrellas with me, etc, but we should be good most of the time. I think maybe one or two rain showers that are only very brief. It should basically be mostly dry most of the time. The plan today is to stick around until approximately 2 o'clock. I will show you the briefing later. We have some traffic coming in, including the Surinam Airways A340. But there are, I think, 4 queens or so coming, all expected between 1 and 2 p.m. So we start a little later, and the plan is to continue until the queens have landed, at least the queens that are expected until around 2 o'clock. Very little wind at the moment. And what wind there is blowing from west to east. Big picture wise, this is what it currently looks like. This is looking to the west. Southwest, looking to the south. Look at this. Isn't that beautiful? Of course, looking to the east, looking to the northeast, looking to the north. Bit of precipitation, but it is passing by most of it, so we should be good. Our next airplane is the Play A320neo arriving from Reykjavik. So, ladies and gentlemen, members, it is time to get out that emoji already. Playtime, flight 460, arriving from Reykjavik. The airplane is on the way now for 2 hours and 35 minutes. It's an A320neo, 6 years old, first flight April 2017. And a very good morning to JD, Vinny, Paula, Sander, Ricardo, Andrew, Eva, Nico, Android phone, Peter, Kaylin, Tiger, Valentijn, Reinhard, Piet, Aviation Life, Wendy, Patrick, Leo, Maria, Frits, Maxine, Blackburst, Edward, Brian, Jarno, Bart, Sarvesh, Danny, Frank, Ben, Karsten, Tiri Liri, Mojave, Justin, Floris, Hans, Lena, Captain Eddie Bos, Mario, Harm, good morning to you all. Hope everybody is doing alright. Rocksteady, sorry. The chat skipped ahead. apologies. I hope I didn't skip anyone. If I did, my apologies. Good morning to you all. Hope everybody is doing all right. We can even see glide slope shots. How about that? Our next airplane is from Lufthansa. It's an A319 arriving from Frankfurt. Flight 988. Flight time 43 minutes. The airplane is relatively old. It's a millennial. First flight July 1997, making this 26 years old. So at the moment departures take place from runway 24, but also from 36 center, going out to the north and to the southwest. At the moment every airplane landing is landing on this runway, which is nice. Suparna has already landed. I am no longer seeing the Martin Air 747. We did see it yesterday briefly. However, I spy with my little eye the KLM Cargo 747 at the ramp. Oh, and the chat seems to have frozen. I have to be careful. JB, Wietse, Klaas, goedemorgen. Team, goedemorgen. Good morning, Jendrosek. Arnoud, goedemorgen. Arnoud asks if I am at the Spottersplatz near the McDonald's. I am indeed, a little bit more to the west. I will show you in a minute. Well, let's have a look. What is coming next? Well, number 2 is going to be the Surinam A340, so the briefing will have to wait until after. Nice and crowded in water over here, as you guys can see. When walking up here, there were ducks and coots in the water already. Also in the water side, a few ducks. And more coots in the grass. I'm looking on the left hand side of the screen to see, can we make out the, yeah, there it is, the A340 already. There she is, arriving from Paramaribo, Surinam Airways. Before that, another Lufthansa arriving from Munich, A320, flight 2302, flight time 1 hour and 11 minutes. The airplane is 9 years old, first flight June 2014. Herzlich willkommen in die Niederlanden. Coming in from the south of Germany, Bavaria. You always get a good look on Munich when you're approaching Innsbruck Airport from the east, flying through the Inn Valley. You're already descending and often flying in the vicinity of Munich. Now, airplanes taking off to the north. This is what we can see of it. They're using the center runway to the north to take off together with the Kaagbaan. So if something interesting is going on there, let me know in the chat. Now let's have a look at the first quad of the day. It is Surinam Airways, flight 994, arriving from Paramaribo, which has taken the airplane 8 hours and 26 minutes thus far to get here. It's an A340-300, 15 years old. The first flight of this airplane was in April of the year 2008. And hey there Nina, hey there Jewisleim, goedemorgen. Absolutely much better weather than yesterday. Maybe 1 or 2 small droplets in the upcoming hours, but nothing durable, nothing substantial, nothing that we cannot handle with an umbrella. Right. Let me show you guys what's going on. And good morning to all viewers who have joined us in the meantime. Just in time, let me show you quickly what is going on. So, first of all, the weather. Let's refresh the METAR. As you guys can see, this is from 8:55 Zulu time, so that is from 15 minutes ago. The wind 250 degrees, 6 knots, so that is this. Also shows you the headwind and crosswind component. For landing airplanes, there is 2 knots crosswind and 6 knots of headwind. Or is that the other way around? Visibility is 10 kilometers or more. There are a few clouds at 2,500 feet, cumulus clouds, scattered clouds at 3,000 feet. The air temperature is 9 degrees Celsius, so that translates to 30 plus 18, 48 or so Fahrenheit. The air pressure 1,003 hectopascal, and we have temporary moments where visibility is decreased to 7,000 meters, and we could get showers and rain. Well, speaking of which, let's have another look at the weather radar. This is the last hour, and we are right at the square, which is Schiphol Airport. So I think we are in a corridor where most of the precipitation will pass south of us. Could be that we might get a few droplets, which will probably not take too long to pass over. Now, this is the current runway situation. We are standing right here. So if the wind changes and they start using this runway for departures, we are in a good location. For the time being, it looks like it is going to be a morning of arrivals. We have also a view on the Schiphol Oostbaan, which is also used for biz jets. So we might get to see something. Surinam has just landed. Almost entering Dutch airspace, the first queen of the morning expected in half an hour from now, arrival from Chengdu Air China Cargo. At the moment, the A380 is underway and is expected around 10 past 12, flying over Romania. From the west, well, this is going to arrive late in the afternoon. However, another Air China Cargo is expected 5 minutes to 2. We have China Airlines Cargo expected around 1:15. We have Qatar Cargo expected around 2. And we have Cargolux around 1:30. So between 1 and 2 is peak hour for the heavies. My plan is to stick around until those airplanes have at least landed. Right, for now, let's go back to the action at hand. And you can see precipitation not too far away. We did feel a few droplets earlier, but nothing substantial. But you guys saw the radar. We might have to keep the umbrella at hand, but it will be short-lived. That's the upside. Croatia Airlines arrival from Zagreb, flight 450. Now yesterday the wind was quite fierce, my hands were constantly wet, the wind was blowing, we had refrigerator temperatures. What a difference a day makes. I'm standing here barehandedly, hardly any wind, nice and warm, very comfortable. Beautiful skies all around. Now, you can see some of the departures, the takeoffs, the beginning from runway 24 in the distance. And the sun shining beautifully through the clouds. Right, next up, Ryanair arriving from Dublin. Rob, it all has to do with whether or not it is dry and whether or not it is windy, and as you guys can see, it is quite calm at the moment and my hands are fully dry, so it is actually not that bad being out here. I will tell you, when the sun is out and not obscured by clouds, it can even get a little warm, but you have to bear in mind I am dressed for cold. Rain trousers over my jeans as an additional layer of insulation against the wind, plus to keep dry of course when it would start to rain. I'm wearing a hat, and over that hat I have a ski hat, thick parka, so it needs to get a bit more colder to get cold actually, which is good. Aziz, good morning, good to see you. So yeah, we have Queen rush hour expected between 1 and 2, and His Majesty the King also expected a bit sooner, around 12:10, at least that's what the ETA was just now. So refreshing to see life in the water again. Last couple of weeks at Polderbaan, no birds other than Russell Crowe and Cheryl. The gentleman duck is not alone. His companion presumably swimming right behind him. I do look like Kyle, absolutely. You're absolutely right, Frank. Oh man, that last episode, that special, was something. Not sure if you guys have seen it already. Mocking Disney. It was so funny. With the handyman becoming the new billionaires, even entering into space race. Like some well-known tech billionaires have been doing in real life. Hey Koen, goedemorgen. Haven't heard any fireworks yet, but if we are going to hear something, this will probably be the culprit. Now, dare I show you guys, look at this. We even have a sizable patch of blue sky here. Not seeing the moon, but not sure if it is still out during daytime. I think it might be, but probably in a part of the sky where the clouds are obscuring it. And we are seeing an airplane turning onto the glide slope as number 2. And the airplane preceding it is Air Europa arriving from Madrid, 7878. The airplane that just turned onto the glide slope is Air Canada Flight 808, which is a Boeing 7879. So it's double Dreamliner time. Hadi Ronald, goedemorgen. Pieter, goedemorgen. All other viewers who have joined us in the meantime as well, good morning and welcome to you all. Hope everybody is doing all right. Beautiful backdrops here. Welcome to the Netherlands. 2 Dreamliners coming in. So this is Air Europa, flight 1091, arriving from Madrid, 7878 Dreamliner. Flight time 2 hours and 12 minutes to get from Madrid to where it is right now. The airplane is 6 years old. Its first flight began in February of the year 2017. I forgot to turn back the focus to manual and infinity. Camera began focusing on the fence in the foreground, which is not supposed to happen. My default mode is manual focus, focus to infinity, which is nearly always adequate for following the airplanes. But if you want to have a closer look at the birds in the water in the foreground right here, you need to switch. Aloha Jinshin, good to see you again. Hey there Uncle Buck, good morning. Thank you for the kind words, Uncle Buck. Fantastic shots this morning, boy. Many thanks for all that you do for us. Well, you're welcome. I do this primarily because I have fun doing it. And also because it is nice to share it with people all around the world. But just doing something I like doing. Air Canada flight 808, it has sunglasses on, maybe a bit over enthusiastic, but there you go. Flight 808, 7879 Dreamliner, arriving from Toronto, Canada. Flight time 6 hours and 48 minutes. The airplane is 5 years old. Its first flight February 2018. Hey Dale, good morning mate. Good to see you again. Daniel, good morning. Doing fine, thank you. After drying and warming up yesterday, absolutely doing fine. Should have beautiful weather tomorrow. Very much looking forward to that. Jin Shin says, your accent soothes my soul. Thank you so much for that, Jin. Right, 2 airplanes on the glide slope. Look at that, beautiful. In the foreground, KLM Embraer 175 arriving from Zurich. Behind it is a KLM 787-10 Dreamliner arriving from Cartagena. Good morning, Maxwell. Good morning, Tony. Good morning, Vincent. Right, KLM flight 1954 arriving from Zurich, Embraer 175, flight time 1 hour 22 minutes as we speak. 5-year-old airplane, first flight February 2018. Having a quick look behind me, there's a man with a very big lens and a camera walking to the fence, so I'm looking to see if I'm missing something. If there's something might worth showing you guys. Well, we can see the Surinam A340 parked over there. Air Europa taxiing to the gate still. Alright, well, the Dreamliner arriving from Cartagena, and I can see 3 airplanes on the glide slope. 2 more. Can I show you the airplanes in one shot? There you go. A 3 airplane glide slope shot. KLM flight 741, 787-10 Dreamliner arriving from Cartagena, where it departed 9 hours and 11 minutes ago. The airplane is 4 years old. Its first flight was in October 2019. And Robin, thank you so much for the kind words. Good morning, Edwin, sorry. En Al, goedemorgen. Well, Edwin says I'm sounding enthusiastic. Well, who wouldn't be with all the dreary weather that we've been having for such a long time already? I think it has been raining now nearly daily for 6 or more weeks. Last October was the wettest month since we are keeping track of meteo stats, and in some parts of the country in the first 10 days of November alone, more rain has fallen than in 1.5 average November months. So whenever the sun is out and we can do a bit of streaming without rain covers and using bare hands to operate the camera, which, as you guys can see when there's little wind, can go smooth as a mofo. What's there? What's not to be happy and enthusiastic about? Alright, well, next up, Speedbird flight 430 A320 origin London Heathrow. Took a little longer to get here, 55 minutes. Normally it is around 40 to 45 minutes. 9-year-old airplane, first flight February 2014. And indeed, Austrian Wolf, where is Herr Donnelly? The glide slope shot frequency probably to his liking. Morgan, Dirk, Debbie, good morning. Bokkie, goedemorgen. Right, baby bus is coming. Tarom, flight 361 A318, arriving from Bucharest. Behind it is the 787-10 Dreamliner arriving from Panama City. Tarom flight 361, the daily flight from Bucharest to Amsterdam. Flight time at the moment 2 hours 39 minutes, a 15-year-old airplane. This airplane began flying in November of the year 2007. Hadi Bas, goedemorgen. Welcome everybody who has joined in the meantime. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to say hi. Don't feel like you need to, but new viewers are always welcome to say hi. Also, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. A lot of people watching already. All of them friendly, many of them very knowledgeable. Hey there, JD. Good morning. Good to see you. Also remember to like the stream if you haven't done so already, and if you want to know when I'm going live in the future, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon. That way you get notified beforehand whenever I go live. This is KLM flight 758. It's a Boeing 787-10 Dreamliner coming back home from Panama City. The airplane is now underway for 9 hours and 29 minutes, and it is brand new, meaning less than a year old. In this particular case, it began flying in May of this year, so still under warranty, presumably. If you just joined us, then you might have missed the briefing I gave earlier about the weather, runway usage, and also the upcoming big jets. The plan is to stick around until approximately 2 o'clock today. In the last 2 hours, we are not only going to see the Emirates A380, but also I think 4 Queens, and one more is already approaching, if I'm not mistaken. Last time we checked, it was already near Dutch airspace, Air China Cargo. So the first Queen should not be too far away. Let me pinch out. Oh yeah, I do see it already. Oh, and the Aero Mexico Dreamliner also already. Hey there Glenn, hey there Froome, hey there Joe, hey there Martijn. Goedemorgen, one and all. Hope everybody is doing alright. It's a beautiful Saturday morning over here in the Netherlands. Beautiful cloudy backdrops. And we can even see a rainbow. Now, the rainbow, of course, indicates precipitation, which I hope is not going to pass over. We'll have to see. As you guys can see, whatever precipitation might fall is only short-lived. This is KLM flight 1926, Boeing 737-800, arriving from Geneva. Ah, Daniel, goedemorgen. Erik, goedemorgen. Frans, goedemorgen. Doing well, Daniel. Thank you for asking. Hope the same goes for you, my friend. Ooh, faintly visible 2 airplanes. The middle one seems to be a bit smaller. Our next airplane is Air Malta flight 394 A320neo, coming in from Malta, where it left 3 hours and 7 minutes ago. A320-200 neo, 4 years old already, first flight July 2019. Now, there aren't many fences around Schiphol, but this is one of them. It's the first fencing off of the perimeter. There's another fence a bit further, as you can see. Most of the place here is wide open. And the sun is even getting out from behind the clouds. It's gorgeous. Now that small airplane that we saw is a Learjet from Ryanair. Okay, is the big boss, is the big cheese himself coming to the Netherlands? I'm faintly seeing the landing lights, so we'll turn back the camera in a moment. MABJA, it says Ryanair Learjet 45 coming in from Stansted. Let me see, where is that little bugger? There it is. A320 from SAS behind it. Andrew asks, do they use the reversers more on these runways than on 1/8 right? Tell you the truth, I don't know for sure. While this is not as long a runway as 1/8 right, at least the KLM boys typically don't use their reversers very often, period. Oh, no, that, man. I was under the impression, wrongly, that that was the right airplane I was looking at, but this is the Ryanair Learjet arriving from Stansted. Now we'll turn to the left and go back to the general aviation part of the platform, which is over here. You can already see the biz jets that are parked over there, quite a few of them. Right, SAS flight 557, all white, coming in from Stockholm, A320, flight time 1 hour and 38 minutes. 19-year-old airplane, first flight May 2004. What I did notice, Andrew, is that it seems that foreign airline carriers use their reversers more often on Schiphol than KLM does. Not sure if it makes a difference per runway, but you do definitely see that distinction. And there is the first queen of the day, preceded by Aeromexico Flight 25, arriving from Mexico City, standard livery, Boeing 7878 Dreamliner. Flight time 9 hours and 29 minutes. The airplane is 10 years old. First flight was September 2013. I'll film the touchdown, and unless it really goes wild on the reversers, go back to the 747. Which I'm hoping will use the reversers. Pretty sure that the Aeromexico will. Very modestly. Alright, first queen of the day, Air China Cargo. Boeing 747-400, arriving from Chengdu, China, where it departed 10 hours and 8 minutes ago. The airplane we're now looking at is 17 years old, had its first flight in the year 2005 in December. Hey Anne, goedemorgen. Right, let's see if this one gets loud. I hope it will. The potential is there at least. Hey there, Madeira Aviation Spotting, good morning. Super G, good evening. Definitely drop a like if you like this kind of stuff, folks. And also, if you want to stay updated when I'm going live, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon. It's the only way to know for sure when I'm going live. You will get notified if YouTube works normally. Big picture wise, this is what we are looking at to the west. This is what we are looking at to the north. This is what we are looking at to the east. Beautiful. Look at the clouds and the rays of sunshine shining through the clouds. Of course, this is looking to the east where the airplanes are now coming from. The next airplane is KLM Flight 986. It's an Embraer 190 arriving from London City. And it is being followed by a Pegasus A321 arriving from A321 Neo, in fact, arriving from Istanbul. And thank you, Maria, updating us with the ETA of the A380. Still 10 past 12, so that is in just under 1.5 hours from now. Hadi Gerrit, goedemorgen. If you just joined, Gerrit, and were in time to see the the Boeing 747, your timing is impeccable. There's the first squeaky brakes on an Embraer. Yellow DHLB incoming from London midway the sea at the moment. Leon is saying, awesome, that is great news. An Austrian Wolf asks JD about the record, if you're talking about likes in a stream while live. I think we managed to get 800 recently. So this is the A321 Neo from Pegasus arriving from Istanbul, flight 1251. Nominal flight time 3 hours and 6 minutes. The airplane is brand new. First flight was in March 2023. Now, JD is at it again, gifting 5 AMS Live memberships just now. Thank you so much for that, JD. Welcome to the Aurora Sky Lounge. Those are the 5 new members. If you just got given a membership by JD, don't forget to say thank you. JD, thank you so much. And welcome to the Aurora Sky Lounge, those new members. Next up is a KLM 737-800 arriving from London Heathrow. KLM flight 1002 with a flight time of 49 minutes. The other one was 55 or so. Must be having headwind, or they need to take a detour due to weather or something. No. That's the Suparna. Just trying to see if I maybe could see the 747 that landed just now, but maybe it is taking the other way around the terminal building to get to the parking. So, big picture wise, if you just tuned in, welcome to the show. Let me brief you on what we are expecting. The Air China cargo has just landed. The next big airplane to arrive is going to be the Emirates A380, still flying in Slovakian airspace, expected at 12:10. And the plan is to stick around until 2 o'clock. Why is that, do you ask? Well, approximately 2 o'clock, Queen rush hour. This airplane is arriving around 5 minutes to 2. This one 1:15. This Queen 5 minutes to 2. And this Queen around 1:40. That is at least what is airborne right now. This airplane will land at the end of the afternoon. We're not going to be around for that, but we are expecting 4 more Queens and the King at least. Current situation, let me refresh the METAR. I will also copy paste it into the ticker in a moment. The wind, the prevailing wind, and this is the runway heading for the runway we are standing next to. Mostly headwind, little bit of crosswind, few clouds at 2,500 feet. Temperature 9 degrees Celsius, minor shower and rain temporarily, which is also visible if you look at the weather radar. This is the past hour. We are right at the square, which is Schiphol Airport. You can see we are dodging bullets here today. We might get a few droplets later. As you guys can see, they're only small dots, so it's only going to be temporary. Runway usage, just did a refresh, still the same. This is the only runway used for landing. They're taking off to the north and from runway 24. So that is the current status quo. So definitely worth sticking around for or coming back for after 12, because we are going to see the A380 and 4 747s. And dodging bullets here in terms of weather. You can see definitely some atmospheric instability all around us. It provides beautiful cloudy backdrops. Beautiful, not sure, is there an English word for the phenomenon that you see those rays through the sun, through the clouds? In Dutch it's called Johannes Ladders, which not sure how it got that name. Ladder to heaven or something, must be something biblical. Frank asks if we can see Harry the Hedgehog. I haven't seen him yet. I'll definitely point the camera towards him when I do. Right, Singapore on the move. We'll be taking off from runway 24 most likely. Let me have a look. Our next airplanes are also approaching. In fact, there is a Dreamliner approaching, which I can see already. KLM flight 702, I believe it is. Yeah. Dreamliner on the downwind leg, which we'll see land in a couple of minutes. Now flying from west to east, north of me, over the city of Amsterdam. 787-10 Dreamliner arriving from Buenos Aires. We'll see it land shortly. Airplanes taking off from runway 24 is what we can see from over here and also here. Another airplane is coming on the glide slope, a 737-700, which I will point the camera to in a moment. Crepuscular rays. Thank you, René. Crepuscular rays, or Johannes Ladders in Dutch. Hey there, GCL Streams. Good to see you again. Hope all is well. We have two airplanes on the glide slope, a Boeing 737-700 arriving from Paris Charles de Gaulle from KLM up first, followed by ITA Airways A320 arriving from Milan, number 2. And Embraer 175 arriving from Norwich is going to be number 3, which only faintly visible over there in the middle. And is that going to be number 4? Well, no, I think that the Dreamliner we saw just now is going to be number 5 or 6. Do feel that the wind is picking up. You can see a bit more movement over here in the water as well. Looking at the windsock, it is doing a little bit more. Not sure if it has to do with the vicinity of precipitation or showers. Could be. That's something you typically see whenever there's rain nearby. The wind picks up. This is ITA Airways flight 120 in the Friuli-Venezia Giulia livery. Half blue, half white. Arriving from Milan, A320. 14 years old, first flight made 2009. Flight time 1 hour and 26 minutes. Lots of little details on the tail. Alright, Daniel has to go. We'll be back. Have a good hour. Returning at 12. Excellent. That's a great choice. Get back when the getting is good. It's going to get good. Also, Tony, thank you so much for your super chat. Tony writes, 98% of aircrafts use thrust reversers. Doesn't matter the runway. Well, that's good information. Thank you so much for that, Tony. Next up is going to be KLM flight 1516. And oh, the Singapore Dreamliner taking off from runway 24. Embraer 175 arriving from Norwich. Servus Frank, tuning in from South Germany, welcome! And welcome all other viewers who have joined in the meantime. German Airways flying for KLM up next. Embraer 190, flight 1868. Arriving from Stuttgart. Took this airplane 56 minutes thus far to get here. Oh, Volker, did I say Dreamliner? Of course it is an A350. KLM flight 1868, 15 years old, first flight January 2008, same age as the Chucky and the Orange Pride. That Dreamliner we saw flying downwind will be next. Arriving from Buenos Aires. Still beautiful cloudy skies over here, particularly looking to the east where the sun is also shining. Here is the Dreamliner we saw just now. Hey there Paul, good morning mate, good to see you, my pedigreed chum. This is KLM flight 702, 7879 Dreamliner, arriving from Buenos Aires. Has taken more than half a day to get here, 12 hours and 31 minutes as we speak. The airplane is 7 years old and began flying in August of the year 2016. Well, Paul, thank you for asking. Was up a bit too late yesterday. Came across a nice trip report from a fella that flew from Washington Dulles via some transit in the United States to Frankfurt on the Lufthansa 7478 in first. So looking at the beautiful dinner that was being served, the menu, the lounges. Went to bed a little too late, but I will make up for it at some point. Beautifully illuminated cloud. And we have 2 airplanes on the glide slope. Where is Jerry when you need him? Taking in the glide slope shots. Our next airplane is an A320neo from EasyJet arriving from Geneva. Flight time 1 hour and 27 minutes. Austrian registered, so on the radio, on the ATC, it would be Alpine. 5-year-old airplane, first flight June 2018. Anna says a friend of mine is on the KLM 100, hope we can catch it. What time is the expected arrival time? What time is it expected to arrive, I should say. Hey Josegi, good afternoon. Is the afternoon over there already? Don't know what the time difference between mainland Europe and Kenya is. Is there a time difference? Well, if they don't change runway usage and this is going to stay the only runway for arrivals, then 100% yes. Hey, feeling droplets. Interesting. Looking directly up, I see blue sky. 1 p.m. already in Kenya. Thank you, Josegi. 2 hours time difference. Didn't think that. My impression always is Africa is just going south from Europe, so probably no time difference, but there you go, 2 hours time difference already. Well, getting a little wet here, interesting. Don't know where it's coming from because I don't see any threatening clouds in the immediate vicinity. Well, do have a cloth with me in case the lens would get wet, but let's just keep it out of the wind. Should be enough. A321neo from Aegean coming in from Athens up next. Flight 3624. A321neo, flight time 3 hours precisely, so that is par for the course. Athens approximately 3 hours away. The airplane is 3 years old. First flight was in September 2020. Hailing from Greece, it has sunglasses on naturally. I was a bit surprised that the Airways didn't have sunglasses on, being fashionable Italians. Then again, Giulia, Friuli-Venezia, probably in the north where the weather is maybe a bit less sunny than it is in the south of the country. Cornelia asks where I'm filming. I am standing a little bit west of the McDonald's. This is runway 27 that the airplanes are landing on, and over here you have runway 18 left. I'm at the intersection more or less. Could show you on the map. Let's see, A320neo arriving from Milan. After that I will briefly show you guys, in case you're wondering. A320neo from EasyJet coming in from Milan. Flight 27806. Also Austrian registered, brand new according to flight radar, meaning less than a year old. And in this case the airplane began flying last December, so almost a year old. Next month it will turn 1. Well, JD, this is a nice spot, but it is very much dependent on wind and runway conditions. 9 out of 10 times when there are no runways closed for maintenance, this is not the most exciting place, because this runway will only be used temporarily, if at all. Most of the time this runway gets used when there's wind from the west directly. If it is somewhat southerly, you will see that the north-south runways get used more often. Hey, thank you so much Don Zelli for the congratulations. It's all thanks to you guys. You guys helped build the channel to 10k subscribers. Now, if you guys are wondering where I'm standing at, I'm right here. The McDonald's is a little bit over here, and this is where you will find me. So if, but I'm not expecting it with the prevailing wind, but if this runway would reopen, we are also pretty up close for the departures. Now, a few droplets falling, nothing substantial, just refreshing the radar to see. This is the past hour. Might get a few droplets, but nothing substantial. The big birds are still underway. The METAR, oh, this shows that the wind is turning. That is interesting. That is interesting. It is turning more to the north. So that might, well, will that have consequences for landing? Well, if it turns more to the north, they might start using runway 36 left as runway for arrivals as well, which means that we can see the rollout right here, but the touchdown will be far away to the south. Let's just wait and see how the day progresses. Don't forget to drop a like if you haven't done so already. If you want to make sure you never miss out on upcoming streams, hit the subscribe button and press the I'm already seeing airplanes landing now on the runway to the south. That is interesting. Has this runway closed? Haha, wouldn't that be something? No, still open, but now they have switched. This runway was used for departures first, now they have switched it to arrivals. This runway is still being used for arrivals, but now one of the two runways. That's okay. That's perfectly fine. What this means is that it is very likely that the A380 and those 747s are going to land on this runway eventually. However, it means that we now have to wait a little bit for the next air traffic to arrive, because everything coming from the west will land on that other runway. Let's see, did we have any droplets on the lens? No, it has stopped raining, so I could have a look and see what we can see of airplanes landing on 18 center. Yeah, you can definitely tell if you look at the windsock that the wind is opening up a little bit more to the north, which means that now air traffic landing is also landing on runway 18 center. Two airplanes, one entering the glide slope shortly for center undoubtedly. And this looks like a new livery Iceland Air Max 8. And I think the next airplane for us is already on the glide slope, so I will turn back the camera shortly. Wind is picking up a little bit, you guys can probably tell already. Movement of the camera is a bit less smooth. We now have the wind blowing it to the other side. Now, our next airplane to arrive shortly is an Embraer 175 coming in from Billund. Which I'm not yet seeing. I think there it is, yeah. only barely visible KLM flight 1342, arriving from Billund, Embraer 175, flight time 49 minutes, 5-year-old airplane, first flight November 2017. Ah, the police helicopter is also flying in that vicinity. Now, 737 arriving from Copenhagen, following it, E2 Embraer arriving from Oslo, also coming this way, Embraer 175 arriving from Stavanger. Ooh. Now, where am I now? Somewhere in France. That was a weird jump my flight radar app just made. Right, the number 2 has become visible faintly, just about. They're not really packed together, so a glide slope shot, a classic glide slope shot is not possible, but that's okay. It will arrive soon enough, a Boeing 737-700. Now, the wind is not only picking up, but it is also turning a bit more to the north, meaning that there is now crosswind from the right. So if there is a bit of crabbing going on, it would be with the nose pointing towards us. I'm hearing. Let me pinch myself. Is that actually happening? KLM using the reverse thrust. Someone testing out. Hey, what's this lever for? Let's try it out, shall we? Right, well. We're waiting for the next airplane, a Boeing 737-700, arriving from Copenhagen. KLM now flying over Amsterdam. It's the old standard livery from Transavia that has been borrowed out to KLM. So the one with the rainbow stripes. KLM flight 1126, 737-700, flight time from Copenhagen 53 minutes. This airplane is 20 years old, first flight was in February 2003. Ah, Frank, you caught me. You caught me sipping vodka, you heard it well. You know me, have to keep warm. The emergency services, or what is it? Not sure what that vehicle is doing. Hey, Lieve, goedemorgen. Hope all is well, Lieve. Good to see you again. Alex is warning that rain is coming in Hoofddorp. It is raining. This is looking towards Hoofddorp a little bit. Could be we might have to get the umbrella out temporarily. I prefer looking to the east. Just ignore if there is rain coming, that it is coming, but we should probably be okay. Doesn't look as bad as yesterday. Now, Tiger, thank you so much for another 5 memberships gifted just now. Don't forget to say thank you to Tiger if you just got gifted a membership. Welcome to the Aurora Sky Lounge, those new members. All the custom emojis are now at your disposal. We keep inching towards 700 members, but then old memberships expire and we're still not due for another emoji, but we have 26, I think. And if you're a newly member, they're all at your disposal whenever you want to use them. Thank you so much, Tiger, once again. Got a little distracted. I'm hearing also a BizJet that took off from runway 22 just now. I was looking to see what it was and if it was worth turning around the camera for, but let's just keep the camera at this E2 Embraer 195 arriving from Oslo. Big ass engines, quiet as a mouse. Love to Travel says, good morning from Boston. Do you ever watch departures? Would love to see KLM to Aruba today. Well, it's very much dependent on runway usage. I also like doing departures, and have a look. It's been weeks ago because we have had prevailing wind from the south for weeks on end now. So each time you go to the Polderbaan, you get the arriving traffic, and that has to do with the wind. But when we do get northerly wind, you do see departures to the north, and whenever that is happening, I like being at Polderbaan. There are two spots that are very favorable to watch departures, at the point where they approximately rotate, and also at the very beginning where you see them taxi to the runway from the main platform area. Now, the rain Alex just warned about is indeed starting to fall right here. So I'll have to assess if I'm going to need an umbrella or not. I think not. I think we have a little bit of rain falling from this bit, and you can see blue sky all around. Gorgeous, and I will clean the lens in a moment. Gorgeously lit clouds in the distance though. Have a look at this, ladies and gentlemen. Let me do a slow pan. Welcome to the Netherlands, folks. Right. Let me get out my little cleaning cloth, clean the lens. Camera is now pointing away from the wind. Alrighty, there we go. Let's have a look-see. I'm also going to close my phone screen, wipe it dry, get it back open again while we have a moment to spare. If droplets go on the move, they move down due to gravity. My phone interprets it as a swipe of sorts, so the phone can do stupid things that I don't want it to do, which is why keeping it dry as much as possible is not only good for legibility but also for control. We have an Embraer 190 from KLM arriving from Munich, KLM flight 1792 up next. Flight time 1 hour and 8 minutes. The airplane is 7 years old. First flight November 2015. So the next big airplane to arrive is the A380, expected in 50 minutes from now. Ah, Mr. Cole. Morning, Lance. Hope all is well, mate. Good to see you again. Bit of a pity that the big birds arriving from the United States are going to the other runway. Such as the Corendon A350 that we see over here. Granted, it is beautifully illuminated from this side with the sun behind us. However, we are not going to see it unless it is coming back from over there to taxi to the gate. Doesn't it look dreamy? Wind is definitely picking up as well, not only changing direction, but you can definitely notice it is picking up. You can see that the waviness is increasing. You will probably also see it in the following, which is not as smooth anymore as in the beginning. Might have to resort to enabling image stabilizer if it keeps increasing, but for the time being I think we can still manage without. Right, big bird incoming. Qatar Cargo 777 arriving from Doha. Super nice. Qatar Cargo flight 8205. Hey there, Nicholas. Nicholas writes, Donna has me doing chores, but I've taken rest to have a coffee and join the stream. Great choice, my man, great choice. I commend you for that. Now, one of the apps I had just now gave me a warning for precipitation, so might be you have to get the umbrella out at some point. Not sure how much and how long it is going to be. We'll have another look after this landing. Qatar Cargo 777 arriving from Doha, the 777 freighter. Flight time 6 hours 11 minutes. 2 years old, first flight February 2021. And absolutely, Lance, it is a beautiful location, but it is very much dependent on wind and runway usage. If it is interesting to watch, just like the northern threshold of the center runway. Let's have another look at the weather, shall we? So at the moment, we can see that the runway usage has changed. We are standing right here, if you just tuned in and are unsure where we are at right now. The METAR is doing... Warning for minor showers and rain has been all the time. You can see that the wind is now from the west, headwind mostly, but it is a bit variable between almost north and almost southwest. The big birds that we are waiting for over here you can see that the A380 is in German airspace right now. It's ETA 5 minutes later than a bit earlier, and there are 4 queens expected between 1 and 2. All coming from the right direction, even with 2 runways open. Chances are that they are going to land on this runway, although with Schiphol you never know anything for sure. Let me tell you that from experience. This is the weather radar for the past hour. We are right at this little square, which is Schiphol Airport. So yeah, we might run into a few droplets later. Not sure what it is going to do in terms of intensity. We'll have to see. For now, it has been decent and doable without the need to get out the umbrella. Hopefully it's going to stay that way, but time will tell. Plan is to stick around until all those big airplanes you just now saw on flight radar have landed. So approximately around 2 o'clock. The plan is to wrap up, unless the weather throws a curveball, but I'm pretty sure that we are going to be okay. I have to remember though, since I haven't replaced the battery for my DJI mic receiver yet, that at approximately 3.5 hours, maybe a bit sooner, I will have to temporarily put in the USB charging cable, switch it from the phone to the DJI mic, which will induce, for the duration of charging, some interference, making the voiceover a bit worse audible. Never gets old. Embraer 190 arriving from Gothenburg will be landing next. KLM flight 1154. Flight time 1 hour 11 minutes. The airplane is 14 years old. Had its first flight in July 2009. The sun is out again. Lovely. Now let's have a look. More Embraers. Embraers. Oh wow. It's going to be an Embraer fest, it looks like. Also having a look to see if maybe we can spot a BizJet taking off, but there doesn't seem to be a lot of movement on the general aviation platform right now. KLM Cargo 747 is parked over there, as you guys can see. Old Vueling livery. Looks like it is going to be departing from the Kaagbaan next. More airplanes ready to take off. Now there was a banana underway Someone in the chat said not too long ago, but it was coming in from London, so I'm assuming it has landed or will land on the wrong runway for us. This is what we can see from over here. The A330 with the white nose. Coming in from Bonaire, well, then we know what that substance is on the nose. Nicely illuminated by the sun, and here we are going to lose track of it. Airplane's landing will appear again somewhere in this vicinity, maybe a little bit further, yeah, roughly here. There it is. And the highway immediately behind it is the A5 highway. Right, our next airplane about to touch down is an E2 Embraer 195 arriving from Hanover. KLM flight 1904. E2 Embraer 195 underway for 41 minutes as we speak. The airplane is 2 years old. First flight was in March 2021. And an Embraer 190 arriving from Stockholm will be following it. Next up is going to be a KLM Embraer in the SkyTeam livery. Coots in the water. More birds further up ahead. Mostly coots, but there are definitely ducks mingling. I have seen them as I was walking over here. Here it is, KLM flight 1106, Embraer 190 arriving from Stockholm. Flight time 1 hour 43 minutes. The airplane is 11 years old. First flight was in April 2012. Arriving from Stockholm. Behind it is going to be another KLM Embraer 175 arriving from Frankfurt. And another ITA. ITA arriving from Rome will be number 3, which is an A320neo today. Good in the SkyTeam livery indeed. The Embraers succeeding the Fokker 170 and 50 that City Hopper was using before. We have one, I think it is 100 parked on the panorama terrace, the rooftop terrace, where visitors of Schiphol Airport can have a look at the airplanes at the gates outside, up close. Well, not as up close as in the past. They have put down additional layers of fence so that you cannot reach the edge anymore. Not sure why. If they think terrorists might jump over and head to the airplanes over the rooftop of the gates. I think it's still quite a big jump down, but there you go. This is KLM Flight 1764 arriving from Frankfurt. Am I hearing? I felt quiet because I was listening. Thought I heard a GE90 engine start, but I am seeing an A350 from China Airlines on the move, which is also nice. Now, the apps and chat warned about precipitation. I'm not going to call it too soon, but dodging bullets here. I think this is what is coming my way. But as you guys can see, it is definitely still unstable atmosphere, atmospheric instability very much in the air. Yeah, that's definitely something spooling up. Something, and I'm not talking about the engines taking off, so I'm looking if I can see an airplane that has been pushed back. Could it be? Oh, could be this. Could be this airplane that maybe just now started its engines. Hey there, John. First time here and I'm enjoying what I see from San Francisco, California. Welcome, John, and good morning or good night. Are you up still or are you up early? Glad to hear you're enjoying. Hope everybody is. Airways A320 Neo arriving from Rome. And at the risk of sounding like a broken record, it never grows old, this color of azzurro. Whether it is rainy or whether the sun is out, it always looks good. Now, if you're also a fan of azzurro from Italia, make sure to like the stream. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to receive notifications of when I'm going live in the future. Make sure to hit the bell icon when you subscribe. Beautiful A350 will be taking off soon. Pinching out a little bit to see what is coming. I am seeing an A320 from EasyJet arriving from Manchester, which I'm looking for in the sky. Can I see it already? Not yet. There's also ahead of it a 737 arriving from Birmingham. Got a couple of bananas in the background. Qatar Cargo. To the left we have Suparna. Hey Marissa, goedemorgen. Steve asks, do KLM have all the Embraer 190s? Well, almost all. Yeah, they are very ubiquitous. Embraer 175s, 90s, and the E2 of Embraers, of course. Don't know how much they all add up to, but I wouldn't be surprised if it surpasses 100 airplanes, or at least be very close to that number. We are going to see a couple of airplanes in a few minutes landing on runway 27 again. There is traffic on the way. A320 from Royal Air Arabia, or is that Maroc? MAC, arriving from Tangier. The two aforementioned airplanes from Birmingham and Manchester are also coming this way. Looking a bit further out. KLM arriving from Berlin. Well, interesting to see. Let me also have a quick look at the current runway situation. Interesting to see that airplanes arriving from the west are now continuing their flight and not landing on runway center. So I am expecting that in a few minutes from now, when updating the runway usage, you might see that this once again has become the only runway for arrivals. Otherwise, why would those airplanes arriving from Manchester and Newcastle and Birmingham not land on the center runway? So I'm thinking they might start using that for departures again. TV Lowboy, niks spielt zo, guten Tag, good day to you all. Hope everybody is doing well. Now, the precipitation looks like is moving south of me, obscuring the sun momentarily. Now there also looks to be another shower north of me. The wind, as you guys can see, coming my way. We're dodging bullets here. I'm not Boris the Bullet Dodger, I am Boy the Bullet Dodger. Yes, and confirmation of what I already suspected. The center runway once again being used for departures. United, Dreamliner taking off. So that means that this runway 27, once again has become the only runway used for arrivals. It just did not show yet on the LVNL website just now. Next airplane is already visible in the distance. Let me also update and brief you guys for the total situation. So we'll get back to the runway usage in a minute. Let's have another look at the ticker. Wind has turned to west and the band of variation has become more narrow. The wind speed has increased to 14 knots. We still have few clouds at 2,500 feet, scattered clouds at 4,500 feet. Copy paste, I will paste that into the ticker in a moment. Now, the A380, which I am pretty damn sure we are going to see arrive up close, but I'm already sorry I said it out loud, let's not jinx it. And no less than 4 queens behind it. The grand finale, it's what I'm going to stay out for today. Should be until 2 o'clock approximately, depending on the time these airplanes are actually landing. Now, past hour, this is what we're looking at. So, would be a miracle if we keep it dry fully, but so far the bullet dodging has been going relatively well. Refresh, well, we could already see that this is no longer current, so let me copy paste that meter into the ticker for you guys so that you can read it in your own tempo when you want to. Right, runway usage, departures still 24, 36 center, arrivals on 27, back current again. Now Dave, thank you so much for your super chat, very much appreciated, thank you so much for that. Now, hopefully I'm not going to get dizzy from getting up after having crouched. So this is what it looks like to the east. Mostly blue sky. We have K1 in the V-dub over here. And we're dodging bullets. Looks like the bulk of the rain, well, I'm not sure. We might get a few droplets from this bit. I think the majority of the rain from this cell will pass on this side of me. It does make for beautiful skies. Might mean I have to resort to getting the umbrella out momentarily. Won't be too long. You guys saw it. It's nothing substantial, but if the droplets are too intense for too long, might have to get the umbrella out. Do single-handed following. Not as good as two-handed, of course, but still okay. Air Arabia Maroc flight 127, I think, arriving from Tangier. A320 landed after 2 hours and 53 minutes of flight to get here from Morocco. The airplane 11 years old. First flight was in June 2012. And Koets are in fact over here doing a little bit of scuba diving, snorkeling. Well, the one is no longer visible, the other is mimicking a grebe whenever you point the camera. Hey, nice. Landing on runway 22, it seems like. Or are they going to land on runway 24? This one made a last minute turn. Why is that? Landing on runway 24. Landing on runway 24, interesting. Oh, that has to do with 36 center being used for departures. Otherwise you would have intersecting runways if you have to go around. Of course, it all makes sense. Okay, well, that begs the question, will the next airplane do the same? So they are following the glide slope for runway 27 and then doing a last minute left-hand turn to finally land on runway 24. Up next is EasyJet arriving from Manchester, flight 22161. And where is Jerry? Glide slope shots galore today. Not just any, but also very lovely cloudy backdrops. All right. Well, might have had to do with a departure taking place on the center runway. This one, well, let's see. Will it stay the course or will it make a left-hand turn? EasyJet arriving from Manchester, A320. Where it departed from Manchester 52 minutes ago. The airplane is 9 years old. First flight of this airplane was in January 2014. Looks like it is actually landing on 27. Too close to the ground to be making a left-hand turn now still. Okay, this is what it looks like right now. Does look like we are going to get some droplets. Again, the bulk I think is going to pass north of me. I think I am already starting to feel a few droplets, so let's see how that progresses. Next up is an Embraer 190 arriving from Newcastle, with not far behind it a 737-800 arriving from Berlin. It is a German Airways Embraer 190 flying for KLM as KLM flight 958, arriving from Newcastle, departed 56 minutes ago. Same age as Chucky, as the Orange Pride, first flight January 2008, making it 15 years old. Alright. Getting a little moisture over here right now, a little bit of precipitation. And another runway, airplane landing on the other runway. So just for what I'm looking at, big picture, this is what it looks like. So you'll see the airplane deviate to the left last minute to make a landing on. That is a good idea, Liebe. Shampoo and a towel. Well, a towel I always have with me. Need something to keep the lens dry or wipe the lens dry, but definitely have to remember to bring shampoo along as well. That's a good idea, mate. Why didn't I think of that? Right, well, again, I think this has to do with runway 36 center now being used for departures, intersecting traffic. If the airplane landing has to go around, you might risk collision otherwise. Let's have another look at what is coming. Embraer 175, KLM flight 1740 arriving from Luxembourg. And it is 10 to 12, so 20 minutes or so from now. No, it was a bit delayed, right? The A380 expected within half an hour. And Nico informing us that the A380 is in the vicinity of Enschede. Excellent. This is KLM flight 1740, Embraer 175, 5 years old, first flight April 2018. Right, well, big picture wise, this is what I'm now looking at. This is directly to the west, so I think we might get a few more droplets, even though at the moment it has become nearly dry again. Little bit of rain, so I might have to resort to using my umbrella and operate the camera single-handedly temporarily. If that is necessary, I hope that the rain will have passed before the A380 arrives. Let me quickly clean my camera screen and phone screen. Despite the leathery thing around my screen to block direct sunlight, How's the lens doing? That is still okay. Do see a small droplet, nothing big. There we go. And Jendrosek is informing us with happy news. A380 assigned to the Buitenvelderbaan. Right. Well, Lance, you mentioned the heated gloves. I do have them with me. I haven't worn them yet. I'm still doing everything barehandedly. I still have a big hand warmer that I bought from Amazon last year, which I can keep in my coat pocket on and grab it when not using the camera. Using the camera barehandedly gives so much more control. You get tactile feedback from the rubber band I always use to smooth the panning. Plus you also feel the zoom rocker, and even though my heated gloves are thin, they are slippery and you don't get the same tactile feedback and just not the same quality of filming. So I do have them with me if need be. Right now I make do with grabbing the hand warmer with my left hand and right hand and switch it up. Right, getting more rain. Looking at the rain screen, it looks already south of me. This is looking a bit more to the north. You can see a bit more opening. So I hope the majority will pass south of me then. Let's see. Where is our next airplane? A Dreamliner arriving from Rio de Janeiro. Right, it is starting to rain a bit more. So time to get the umbrella out. Right, our next airplane is going to be KLM flight 706, a 7879 Dreamliner arriving from Rio de Janeiro, which is now further to the east. Flying base will be turning final shortly, presumably, or are they switching up the runway usage even more? No, it does look like it is turning. It looks like it is coming this way, turning final. Coming this way. And in the meantime, let me give you some rainfall ASMR. This is a little bit more substantial than you can manage without an umbrella, unfortunately, but better now when there is no traffic to follow than when it is constantly busy. And let's get it over with before the A380 gets close by and before the 747's grand finale will commence. If you just tuned in, welcome to the show. You're watching AMS Live. My name is Boy. We're standing at the intersection of runway 27, now being used for landing exclusively, and 18 left, which hasn't been in use for departures today. The A380, I think, has just entered Dutch airspace and is expected in 30 minutes or so from now. We'll land on this runway, already mentioned in the chat. And after that, between now and 2 o'clock, after the A380, 4 more 747s, all coming from the east. So very likely candidates, all of them, to land on this runway we are standing right next to. As you guys can see, it is still a bit restless in the atmosphere with the wind coming from this angle and a rain now falling. Small shower. Let me see if I can keep the umbrella in front of the lens, pointed a little bit up. You can see some more thinner patches. Also looking further out, you can definitely see some openings. But yeah, it's, as we would say in Dutch, a sour apple to bite through. And that we now need to bite through, door de zure appel heen bijten. Now, a big thank you to Austrian Wolf, who just now gifted 5 AMS Live memberships. Thank you so much for that. Very much appreciated. Many likes again. Another likes threshold crossed, I suppose. Thank you so much for that, Austrian Wolf. Welcome to the Aurora Sky Lounge. Those new members who just got gifted a membership by Austrian Wolf. Don't forget to say thank you if you just received a membership from Austrian Wolf. Thank you once again. Alright, well, now the Dreamliner is coming. Arriving from Rio de Janeiro. So let's not do anything with zooming in or out. Got another Dreamliner as number 3. Sandwich in between is an Embraer 175 arriving from Leeds. And the second Dreamliner arriving is a Dreamliner 10 arriving from Panama City. And this is yours truly now, operating the camera with one hand, holding the umbrella with the other. We're just lucky that it isn't very windy, making it doable. That is the saving grace for today. Right, well, let's turn back. Embraer 175 arriving from Leeds up next. Can I see it already? Only just. And at 8 to 9 o'clock you can see the second Dreamliner already. Rain droplets are now interfering with the chat. Let's see if I can fix that again. No. Stop highlighting messages. I'm not seeing your chats now, guys. Sorry. My camera screen has gotten wet and now I cannot do the chat anymore. Now the rain is slowing down a little bit, so I will be able to clean the phone screen again, get the chat back functional. Let's try that again. No, it's gotten wet. Now it doesn't respond to my input. Right, Embraer 175 KLM arriving from Leeds, followed by a Dreamliner 10 arriving from Atlanta, Georgia. Rain is slowing down. Hopefully we'll have seen the last of it for now and not get a free second round. Oh, that's my coat getting stuck with one of the tripod legs. Right, I think we can do away with the umbrella again after the landing. the newspapers. Another KLM pilot using the reverse thrust. That has to be front page news. Alright, back away with the umbrella. So this is what it now looks like over here. I think we're definitely in the game of dodging bullets here today. I will fix my phone screen with your chat messages and dry the lens and all the other stuff. But this is the airplane Anna's friend is on, if I recall correctly. KLM 100 years special livery arriving from Panama City. Two airplanes from KLM consecutively using the reverse thrust. Alright, now time to do some drying up of equipment. To begin with, that phone screen, because your chat I am not seeing properly. Alright, phone screen dry again, open up. Now I think I should be able to go back. Okay. I think the chat is back up again. Okay. Clean the camera screen. There we go. Also have another look at the lens. Also has a few droplets. Right, so we started streaming around 10, a bit earlier, right? Quarter to 10, so about a quarter to 1 is the 3-hour mark. So around then, probably we'll have to plug the DJI mic receiver in the charging cable. Will cause some interference, but it will make for continued voiceover instead of falling dead. All right. Now, next up, Embraer 190 arriving from Newcastle. KLM flight 962. Flight time 56 minutes. The airplane is 15 years old. First flight October 2008. And the grand finale of today's stream is about to begin, starting with the Emirates A380. We already saw one Boeing 747 and we are going to see 4 more after the A380 until 2 o'clock approximately. And of course, bite the bullet. Dank je, lieve. Right. And Kalita Air is coming to Sydney, Australia tomorrow. Cathay Pacific Airlines Dallas says, is that an occurrence you don't see very often? I'm not sure where Kalita all flies to. We also see it on Schiphol every now and then. Not very frequently. Now, next up is Lot. Flight 263, Embraer 175, arriving from Warsaw. This Embraer 175 has been flying for 1 hour and 39 minutes to get here. It is 17 years old. The first flight of this airplane was in April 2006. interesting to notice that the wind has also seems to have subsided again. It's become dry, and at least to me it feels like there is less wind than there was earlier. Well, not going to call it too soon, but this is what I'm now looking at, looking to the west. I can live with that. Hello, what do we have here? Ladies and gentlemen, 777 and A380 time. Preceding the A380 is a 777-200ER, at the moment number 9 most followed worldwide, tracked by 352 people. Must be quiet. A lot of people are doing groceries probably today. Oh, 396 people are watching this airplane right now. KLM flight 792, arriving from Sao Paulo, South America. Flight time 11 hours and a minute. No, I'm starting to feel droplets again. Would you believe it? Right, this airplane we are now seeing is 18 years old already. 777-200ER, first flight January 2005. We'll have a quick look at the landing and then turn back the camera to the King. Oh man. Come on, a few more minutes. Right, the number 4 worldwide most tracked, followed by 776 people as we speak. His Majesty the King, Emirates flight 147, the A380 arriving from Dubai, and has been flying for 6 hours and 41 minutes, so that is maybe a few minutes longer than on average. The airplane is 8 years old. The first flight was in February 2015. Standard livery, still the old standard livery. Looking at the picture on flight radar, members already have the updated ribbon tail, new iteration of the standard livery. Let's have a look. Looks like I might have to get the umbrella out again. Let's hold out until this airplane has landed, but we'll have to get it back then. For crying out loud. What a timing! Oh, there goes my flight radar. Now all the screen is live chat. That is droplets on the move, gravity. Let me just turn off the screen, otherwise things get more messy. the meantime, I have got out the umbrella once again. Necessary evil, unfortunately, today. Even today, although it is set to get dry later in the day, and there is, at least yesterday evening, there was no rain expected for tomorrow. Now, nothing is as variable as the weather over here in the Netherlands. Let me first of all clean. Oh, I did not forgot to fixate the tripod. Where is the king? There it is. Right, I should be able to enable my phone screen again. That has now been wiped dry. Alright, let's see. Open up flight radar. Do the split screen thingy. Right. Now, if you haven't done so already, don't forget to like the stream and definitely subscribe if you haven't done so already, if you want to stay informed of upcoming streams. Turn on notifications, hit the bell icon. We're now waiting for the next airplane to arrive, which is going to be an A320neo from Vueling, arriving from Barcelona. Still raining quite fiercely, although it does look brighter behind me, so looks like it is only going to be momentary. Once again, waiting for the next airplane. Whoa. Might also have another look at the Emirates A380 then, as it is going to its usual place to park at the gate. While we're waiting for traffic, let's have a look. This looks like a 777 going to Mumbai in a minute. Let's have a look at the spray being generated by this triple. Runway doesn't look to be very wet yet, not a very substantial amount of spray from what we can see over here. It does look like the next airplane to our runway is coming. Getting closer by. And Jerry, will you look at this beautiful glide slope shot? 2 airplanes visible in one shot. Our next airplane is Vueling A320 Neo, arriving from Barcelona. Flight 8309, a 4-year-old airplane. First flight June 2019. Flight time at the moment 2 hours and 7 minutes. The rain is slowing down again. Wiping off droplets of my umbrella. Might get away with no umbrella after this landing. few remaining droplets here. Paul has to go. Thank you so much for joining, Paul. Enjoy the lunch and the parade. Over here we're going to stay a bit longer. Got 4 more queens coming between now and 2 o'clock. The grand finale. Right now this is what I'm looking at. It is almost dry again. Particularly in the wind calm bit, you can see a few more droplets still. Still operating the camera with one hand, holding the umbrella with the other, keeping things dry. Although I expect it is going to get dry again soon. Here we have Aer Lingus arriving from Dublin, flight 604, Airbus A320. Oh man, would you look at this. The clouds though are next level today. So there's this opening over here. You can see the solar rays between the clouds, particularly if you have a closer look at them. Very dreamlike. Just incredible. It's always one of the things I like about flying, is also that you're able to look at the clouds from a different perspective. You can look ahead, far away, beautiful vistas. Wonderful. Right, well, time to put the umbrella away again. I think we've seen the worst of it. Do another wipe of all the screens, the lens, hopefully for the last time today. Right, turning off the phone screen momentarily, wipe that dry, back on again. Camera screen also getting a wipe down. Also the upper part of the camera itself. Also the microphone a little bit. Alright, that should be good. Now lastly the lens, of course. Oh, it looks like it was nearly dry to begin with. Should be good again. Hey, Mr. Jackson, also present in the chat again. Long time no speak, buddy. Hope you're well. Well, you've been busy, you told me on Instagram already. Happy to see you're able to join us here today, at least for the time being. If you just joined, welcome. The grand finale of today's stream is going to commence in the upcoming 1.5 hours. 4 Boeing 747s are underway. We already saw one. We saw the A380 land up close just now. Let me have a look at the traffic. Might have another gap after this airplane has landed. I will do another briefing for you guys. Burger with Cheese asks about Polderbaan. Polderbaan is closed until next week, Wednesday, I believe. I believe it is until the 12th or no, that's tomorrow, the 15th or 16th. Can somebody type the URL of... Oh no, wait. Well, the info is at bezoekbas.nl, but not sure if it is already visible at the homepage itself or if you have to search for it. I think Polderbaan is closed until Wednesday, this Wednesday. Right, so we had some precipitation just now, as you guys noticed. And at the moment, this is the current status quo. Let me refresh. So this is the only runway being used for arrivals. We have 2 runways being used for departures. We are currently standing right here. The METAR just updated, it shows wind from the west. Wind speed decreasing to 13 knots, it seems like. Minor showers and rain, few clouds at 2,500 feet, scattered clouds at 3,800 feet. Wind speed has been variable a little bit, visibility has been good all along. Temperature is increasing a little bit as the day progresses. And this is the grand finale we are waiting for. If you have time for it, stick around until they have all landed. I'm sticking around until these 4 airplanes have landed. 4 747s, one expected around 1:45, one expected at 1:10, one expected at 1:48, and one expected at 1:50. Not sure if they're all going to land on the same runway though, but fingers crossed. The weather, past hour, we are standing at the yellow square and you can see, looks like we've seen the worst of it. It should be raining now according to the weather radar, but it doesn't, so I'm thinking we are good. Let me copy paste the latest METAR into the ticker for you guys as well. Alright, there we go. Now, let's have a look. Our next airplane visible at the horizon. Embraer 175 arriving from Humberside, KLM flight 1486. Now this airplane has been underway now for 46 minutes. The airplane is 5 years old. First flight was in January 2018. Looking to see if the next airplane behind it is already visible. Should be a 737-800 from KLM arriving from Rome. I'm not seeing it yet. Maybe if it turns on the landing lights, we might see it already. Hey Johanna, goedemiddag. Bit further away from you than normally when at the Polderbaan. But definitely happy to be out here Nice to see you. Hope all is well, Johanna. Right, next up, KLM flight 1598 arriving from Rome, Boeing 737-800. There we go, has become visible. Will the next airplane be visible already? I'm not seeing it yet. Embraer 190 arriving from Darlington, that would be the case. But visibility to the east seems to be a bit less than it was before, or they are keeping a bigger separation between the airplanes. Not sure about the latter. Looking at flight radar, I think it is the visibility that has become a bit worse. Yeah, Johanna, this is a nice place to be standing at least with Polderbaan being out of commission. Otherwise, it is very much dependent on the wind. It's not always as busy as it is today. K3 also doing a little round around the premises. Like the third KLM pilot using the reverse thrust in within half an hour or so. In the meantime, it is beginning to drizzle again, ever so slightly. It's not looking very dense. I do see a patch of blue right nearby. Of course, just as I point up the camera. There does also seem to be a bit more separation between the airplanes, so I do have time to wipe that one droplet away and get back to the action at hand. Next up, Embraer 190 KLM arriving from Teesside or Darlington, flight 1534. Flight time of 49 minutes. The airplane, 10 years old. First flight November 2013. And we do get to see the glide slope again. 2 more airplanes visible already. Ah, it's doing the last minute turn to runway 24, it seems like. This is what it looks like macroscopically. Indeed, Jendrosek, discount on reversers. Definitely seems to be the case. So this airplane, following the glide slope for runway 27, then making a last minute left-hand turn, will be landing on runway 24. 36 center being used for departure, so that is probably to avoid collisions. And look at the backdrop, beautiful. Alright. Hey there, Mabube. Good afternoon. Good to see you. Next up is going to be a Transavia. Again, the lighting unparalleled. Not something you would see on one of the LAX streams very rapidly, very soon. Then again, less precipitation, also not too bad. I think we've had our share for the rest of the remainder of the calendar year, the last 6 weeks. Transavia flight 5132 just touching down after coming back home from Barcelona. You guys can probably pick up on Koets as well. Behind fences. And also probably on the right hand side, finding cover from the whatever it is that is growing there. Less covered are the birds on this side of the water. Koets. And I think also a couple of ducks over there in the grass along the water. Next up, KLM flight 1354 arrival from Prague in the Czech Republic, Boeing 737-800, flight time 1 hour and 8 minutes. 24-year-old airplane, first flight August 1999. Hey Miss Wolves, good afternoon, good to see you. Hope all is well. Hope you're having less rain than we have been having the last half hour over here. A bit drizzly. Then again, it does provide nice spray, gorgeous clouds. And that you might have picked up on the mic swimming over there. Sooner or later they'll all show their faces. So if you just tuned in, we are going for the grand finale. I think in half an hour is the first 7 of 4 747s that we are expecting between 1 and 2 p.m. as a police helicopter is taking off from the platform. Where is it? There it is. So the BizJet general aviation part of the platform is also where the police helicopters have their base. Meanwhile, more droplets over here once again. Still a couple of BizJets over there. Bird control vehicle also patrolling. Yeah, and it's getting drizzly quite quickly already again. Probably going to be short-lived once again, but we have to take heed of the rain. I'm streaming with a dry configuration so that tracking is optimal. It didn't look like much rain would fall this morning. In fact, the morning radar extrapolation said it was going to stay dry for the entire day. Well, they were wrong a little bit, but again, compared with yesterday, this is nothing to write home about. In the meantime, the KLM Cargo 748 BizJet landing on runway 22. Where is it? We're so small. There it is. Also using the reversers. You can even hear it. Right. Now, airplane's taking off from runway 24. We cannot see a lot of detail from over here. Mind you, I'm operating the camera now with one hand, holding the umbrella with the other, so might not be as smooth as normal. And Miss Wolf says we have a dry day today. Well, savor the moment. We are expecting to have a dry day tomorrow over here in the Netherlands. Cannot wait for that. Going out without having to think about an umbrella. And absolutely, Johanna, I am also fed up with it. We've had more than our share already this year, the last couple of weeks. This is an Embraer 190 from KLM arriving from Basel. And an Embraer 175 arriving from, I think, Cardiff will be next. Not fully zoomed in, as you guys can see. Do get some complimentary spray today with your landing, courtesy of the weather gods. It's definitely going down right now. A bit louder, which you can probably pick up on already. I will do another lens clean after it has become dry again. This is where the wind is blowing from, looking to the west now. Definitely a bit more open, not the darkest of clouds, but still a bit of shower we need to get through before we're in the clear. Until then, I'm holding up the umbrella and operating the camera with one hand, so I have to establish the zoom level beforehand and then just do the pan. Thank God that it isn't very windy. At least following the airplanes goes decently today. K3. Are there two around here, or did it come back from where it was at the general aviation platform so rapidly? Let's see, 3 Dreamliner, a lot of KLM Blue, Speedbird on the move. Oh, Speedbird is getting towed. Getting a fine for parking incorrectly, getting towed away. After paying the fine, you will get your airplane back. Lane has to go around 1 o'clock. Too bad, because we are going to see couple of big bird coming in. We are going to see, let's see, this is the 777 arriving from Guayaquil. We have 4 more 747s ahead of us. Now, fingers crossed that this is going to stay the only runway for arrivals, because that will mean a 100% guarantee that all 747s still expected will land on this runway. Harry says, I think you should call it a day because you may feel south are going to have a bad cold. No, mate, you're not getting colds from cold weather. Believe me, I know things when it comes to health. That is absolutely false. You do run the risk of getting hypothermia if you're exposed to low temperatures too long, but it doesn't increase your risk of infection. If your baseline health is okay, you don't run an increased risk of infections when being exposed to cold weather. Next up is Vueling A320 arriving from Barcelona. Unfortunately, still have to hold the umbrella. They are giving some last minute input corrections, it seems like. Hey, is this a special livery? Did not click on the details, so this looks like a Barcelona special livery. Not as intricate as the Quetzalcoatl from Aeromexico though. Big picture looking to the west where the wind is blowing from. So we are going to see the last of it pretty soon. For how long? I don't know. I think the weather radar last time we checked did indicate that what we are experiencing now is the last precipitation and no more rain is coming afterwards. So definitely hope that that is the end of it then. You see where the sun is out, poking through the clouds a little bit. I do see more goods over here at nearby over here near the fence and also a bit further out. Ooh, now let me see if I can keep the camera dry and also crouch behind the laptop, because I want to say a very big thank you to Tiger74. Find the message, highlighted, there we go. Tiger, thank you so much for gifting no less than 20 memberships, for reaching 500 likes for the stream today probably. Thank you so much for that, Tiger. Thank you all for liking the stream. If you haven't done so already, don't forget to leave another like. We can always go for more. And definitely subscribe if you haven't done so already to stay updated about upcoming streams. If you just received a gifted membership from Tiger, don't forget to say thank you. Thank you so much once again, Tiger, for no less than 20 new AMS Live members. Wow. That is amazing. Thank you so much. Right, now I'm also having a look on flight radar, and time to turn back the camera because Saudia Dreamliner is coming. I can vaguely see a few lights in the distance. Oh, and we're also reaching the 3-hour mark of streaming, so I think I also have to remember to put my charging cable in the DJI mic receiver, otherwise the voiceover will go dead soon. It's going to run low already. I did buy a new battery for it, so I'm hoping I still have some time to replace it this weekend, and otherwise probably on Monday. Next up is Saudia flight 215 in the 75 years livery. Arriving from Jeddah, Boeing 7879 Dreamliner. The airplane has been flying for 5 hours and 46 minutes to get here. The airplane is 6 years old. The first flight of this airplane was in March 2017. Well, Frank, not only does the battery capacity go down with colder weather, the set has 2 transmitters, so I can switch between one and the other when doing live streams, but there's only one receiver, so it gets the full brunt of usage over the course of the past year, which means that the battery will wear twice as fast, assuming I'm using both transmitters equally, which I'm not sure I do, but there's no backup receiver in the set that you can use interchangeably. Lovely. Well, still raining here, as you guys can hear. Still blue sky nearby. Still crossing my fingers it will get better soon, but right now it is a bit drizzly. Drizzle with the sun out. Right, let's have a look. Got two 737s coming in, a 737-800 first, a 737-900 second. The former from Manchester, the latter from Berlin. And after that, another heavy will be landing from Dubai, Emirates. Keep thinking about United Airlines when I see UAE. Right. Oh. Yeah, why not step it up a notch, why don't you? Hopefully this is also the grand finale of the precipitation. Let's see, this is a 737-900 arriving from Berlin. And behind it is going to be the 777 from Emirates, arriving from Dubai. Okay, well, if they keep using their reverses all, then that is cool. At least we get compensated for the shitty weather. Right, next up is going to be Emirates flight 9915, Emirates Sky Cargo 777 freighter, flight time 6 hours and 35 minutes. A 1-year-old airplane, first flight June 2022. There it is. Now let me have a look at the weather radar on my phone so that I can keep the camera dry. Just curious to see how much longer we have to wait it out. It does say it should get dry again within minutes. What does it? Let's see. Still... Yeah, we should see the end of it pretty soon. Definitely hope that is not a lie. Right, back to the split screen. Oh, moisture on my phone screen does make operating flight radar and the chat a little bit challenging. When droplets go on the move, the phone interprets it as a swipe or whatever. So the phone keeps doing things I don't want it to do. Upside is, and you probably can hear it already, it is slowing down already, the rain. So let's hope we can put the umbrella away again pretty soon. For now, still a necessary evil. Alright, there it is. There are also some droplets on my camera screen which magnify the pixels, so when you're looking for lights, that isn't helpful. Right, next up is going to be an Embraer 190 from KLM arriving from Munich. I do see the lights already and up ahead. And where is that first 747? Has it entered Dutch airspace already? I think it was supposed to land in 10 minutes or so from now, right? Oh shoot! I see that airplanes are now also landing on the center runway. Yeah, well then again, the 747s are all arriving from the east. But this is no longer the only runway used for arrivals by the looks of it. Okay, 747 is above Apeldoorn. Meanwhile, the shit keeps falling here. Frustrating because I can see open patches of sky all around me. So it is very annoying that we're still standing in a place, and also over there. So it's incredibly frustrating to still be having to stand here with an umbrella while all around me it seems to have gone dry. Jendrosek says 747 is assigned to Buitenvelderbaan. That is good news. Means it is coming to us. My hand is starting to get cold. Let me see if I can warm it up a little bit. That's the same thing we had yesterday constant rain and wind, then it is very hard to keep things warm. But we are going to stick around 7 747s in the upcoming hour, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely worth sticking around for. All the 747s are coming from the east. Even with 2 runways open right now, that means that this is still the very likely candidate runway for the 747s to land at. One of them, already in Dutch airspace, has been assigned to this runway, so we are going to see it pretty soon. It was in the vicinity of Apeldoorn not too long ago. Now, dare I say it, looks like it is slowing down the rain. Oh man. Rain is just oozing off the umbrella. Already had a look. Laptop is still dry, fortunately. My power supply too, which I have wrapped up in the case of my tripod. So that is actually holding up quite nicely, but it is getting soaked, so we'll have to use the washing machine and the dryer to get it dry again when I get home. And probably do a garbage disposal bag around the power supply if everything is still wet by then. Now actually the sun is starting to come out to add to the whole situation. Tents get blown away, Austrian Wolf, and I'm only here by myself, so setting it up also not very easy. Ooh, and it's gone already. I just saw a rabbit. There is a rabbit living. Obviously there would be, it does look like a rabbit hole, a giant rabbit hole. I saw a rabbit, but, or it was a hare, could also be. But anyway, still having to wait for the next traffic to arrive. Still raining here. Incredible how long it is continuing. While we're waiting, let's have a look at the queue for departures from runway 24. Nothing to the left. Cathay Pacific, the A350 1000. See what is going to be the next airplane to arrive. The 747, it is already at Almere. Shoot, that's pretty close by. I really want to have 2 hands available to follow that airplane. Well, not today though. Man, it is getting worse. What the F is going on here? I see blue all around me. This is so unfair. Blue sky all around, huh? This is just insane. This is just... it's this little bit. Right. Let me have another look at the weather radar. This is getting a bit annoying. Seems to be moving ever so slowly. Oh, let's see. Just having a look to see if the power supply is still dry, because it is only being held dry by the cover of my tripod, which is lined, so it is quite waterproof. Now, in the meantime, the 747 is approaching Amsterdam from the east. Not seeing it behind me yet. I will turn the camera as soon as I see it. Right, well, not yet visible, but soon will be, is China Airlines Cargo flight 5685 arriving from Mumbai, Boeing 747-400, flight time 8.5 hours. And that would be her. China Airlines Cargo 747-400 freighter arriving from Mumbai, India. Flight time 8 hours and 32 minutes as we speak. The airplane is 18 years old. The first flight was in May 2005. Looks like it is slowing down the rain. Will this be the end of it? I sure hope it will be. Some of the water off the tripod cover. That's what I'm mostly concerned about right now, that my power supply, which is quite expensive, isn't going to shortcut, but I think we're good. Also looks like it is flying up, so let's get rid of the umbrella quickly. First of all, let me clean my phone screen, because if those droplets get rolling, Now, for some reason, we have less viewers than when there were no 747s, but those of you who haven't liked yet, don't forget to like the stream if you like queens like this. 3 more are coming in the upcoming hour until 2 o'clock. Now, I am also going to get my phone charging cable and put it in the DJI mic receiver to prevent the voiceover from going dead. It will induce interference, unfortunately. If it hasn't gone dead already. Check. Voiceover should be back again. Looked like it was dead already. Right. So apologies for the interference you're now hearing. Has to do with the charging cable for the receiver of the voiceover microphone. And it is again starting. We're not fully out of the woods yet. It's only a teaser. Never-ending story. The umbrella is out again. I spoke too soon, trying to clean everything. Where is the next 747? When is it expected? Can somebody enlighten me? Should be around half, so in 15 minutes or so. Right, KLM 737 arriving from Zurich, I believe it was. Okay, has gone dry again. Now I'm hoping it will be for the last time that I am putting away the umbrella. This is where the wind is coming from. This is what I'm now looking at, and fingers crossed it is the last of it. Right, going to do another rundown of the screens and the camera and the lens, make everything dry again, hopefully for the last time. So there are 3 more Boeing 747s approaching, arriving before 2 p.m. Making the total number of 747s today 5, 1 A380, and we also saw the Surinam Airlines Airways A340-300. Now, speaking of which, is that still standing there? I think it is. Has a turnover time of a bit longer than 3 hours, or is it gone already? No, it looks like it is gone. Alright, screen back on. Okay, back in the air, everything is working as it should. There seems to be a queue for departing traffic from runway 24. And we see a banana ready to take off in the distance. We're waiting for the next airplane to come to this runway. Is it still open, by the way? Let's have another look at runway usage at the moment. Yeah, runway 24 is now the only runway used for departures. And center runway and this runway both used for arrivals at the moment. So we're waiting for traffic to depart, to arrive, I should say, on this runway, and in the meantime we're looking at departures taking place from runway 24 with the DHL banana taking off right now. It looks like a triple will be next. And thank you, Louis, for letting us know Air China is 28 minutes away, just crossed into Dutch airspace, so the next queen is coming. So having a look. Our next arriving airplane is a bit further out still. I think that is going to be a 737-800 arrival from Frankfurt, which is now in the vicinity of Almere. Let's see, the 747. Like traffic is preceding. Heavy will have to wait. Again, a game of minimizing delay due to wake turbulence. So Royal Air Arabia or Air Arabia will be going back to Tangier. Triple is going first after all, going to Calgary, YYC, that is Calgary I think. KLM flight 677, 17-year-old airplane. Let's see, A330 also heading out, American. Air Arabia to Tangier will be next by the looks of it. And well, flight radar still a bit shaky. Was in Germany all of a sudden. There we go. Right, we're still waiting for traffic to get within visual range of runway 27. The next airplane is approaching. Still a bit east of Amsterdam, so should be coming. I'm also picking up on a helicopter. That might be the Lifeliner trauma chopper. On its way to a medical emergency from the harbor, the port area of Amsterdam, I should say. Not much going on, although I do see a little bit of spray. Oh, look at that! Bird controller having fun driving through the puddles with his 4x4. The silver lining of having a 4x4 on high heels. In the meantime, our next airplane is coming. Visibility also seems to have improved to the east. Visibility to the east. This is our next airplane. KLM Flight 1766 arriving from Frankfurt. 44 minutes of flight time. Boeing 737-800. The airplane 16 years old, first flight February 2007, and the sun is now getting out from behind the clouds over here. Nice. Finally, bit of sunshine once again. Further out to the east, also positioning itself onto the glide slope, is an Embraer 190 arriving from Poland, from Gdansk, which I'm not sure if we can see. Looking on my laptop screen to see what you guys are seeing. Is that the little speck of light, or is that just a dust particle on my screen? I think it is the airplane, or is it? No. Looks like it was a dust particle then. We'll see it soon enough though. Looks like a 737 arriving from Barcelona is also turning onto the glide slope. Traffic is picking up again. Ah, good question, Austrian Wolf. I will show you in a minute. Those are the maintenance hangars, and it is Albert Plesman, Plesman, which wasn't that the founder of KLM or something? Yeah, exactly. Frank already mentioned it. Oh, look at the lighting. But those are the maintenance hangars from KLM. Martin Air, Transavia. So you sometimes see airplanes getting towed to that area or from that area back to the gate. That is for maintenance. And the hangars have names. So, big picture wise, you can see there are several hangars over there. Those are maintenance hangars, so starting left, this one doesn't have a name. It vaguely still shows Martin Air if you look closely. Here it does say Martin Air more clearly. Maintenance from Transavia and probably also part of their office by the looks of it. And these are the KLM hangars where maintenance is being performed on the airplanes, the fleet. Leonardo da Vinci. And this is Hangar 10, Albert Plesman. Hangar 12. The numbers are running up. You can see a tail, if you look closely, through the opening of the hangar over there. More parked Embraers. Frog in my throat. Right. Next up is KLM flight 1918. Embraer 190 arriving from Gdansk, Poland. Flight time 1 hour and 20 minutes thus far. 13-year-old airplane, first flight February 2010. Right, well, not going to say it's going to stay dry looking further out, but it does look like we are in the clear for the time being. Hopefully until all the queens have landed and I have been able to pack up everything. Now, glide slope shot, Jerry. 3 airplanes, 1 shot. First airplane coming in, arriving from Barcelona, is KLM flight 1666. 737-800, flight time 2 hours precisely. 23-year-old airplane, first flight August 2000. I love me a good spray and reverser. Now, downside is that we haven't seen any Delta A330s land up close for the duration the Polderbaan is closed. They probably all landed on 18C back in the morning, out of our view, even though this morning, since 10 AM, most of traffic has landed on this runway. Anyway, E2 Embraer 195 with the 1700th E-Jet sticker, but that is on the left hand side of the fuselage, so we cannot see it from this side. KLM flight 1994, arriving from Krakow in Poland. Flight time 1 hour 33 minutes. 1-year-old airplane, first flight September 2022. Alright, Royal Jordanian coming up next. Lovely livery. First time I ever saw that when I was little, I thought it was a King arriving, but it's just the standard livery of the carrier. Royal Jordanian, I should say, arriving from Amman in Jordan. A320, flight time 4 hours and 55 minutes as we speak. The airplane, 11 years old, first flight October 2012. I'm hearing a helicopter again. Ah, that's the police helicopter. Which will probably land over there. Let's see if we can still catch that after the landing of the Royal Air Jordanian. Where did that chopper go? Oh, the Coot has caught something. Dove under, and for a moment I thought it had a crayfish, or is it still fighting it? Did not see the helicopter anymore. I think it probably landed as the Royal Jordanian as we were following it. Little ducky. Alright, the next airplane, you already recognize it, Lufthansa. Sehr schön. Alright, well, Jerome says we're waiting for the Etihad. My girlfriend is working on it. Well, here it is. Etihad, always lovely to see, even in the standard livery. Arriving from Abu Dhabi, flight 77. It's a Boeing 7879 Dreamliner. Flight time 6 hours and 37 minutes. The airplane is 7 years old. The first flight of this airplane, March 2016. I think we should be seeing one of the upcoming 747s pretty soon, given that it is 1:30 already. Right, well, ladies and gentlemen, buckle up. If you need to grab a cup of coffee or grab a cup of tea, do so now, because in a few minutes we are going to see the first of 3 now in Dutch airspace 747s. So the grand finale is upon us. Won't be long. We should stay dry. I say that hoping mostly. Alright, well, this is KLM Flight 1128 arriving from Copenhagen. It is a 737-900. Copenhagen, typically an hour away, and this airplane too has been flying now for 59 minutes. Next airplane already visible. This airplane is 19 years old. First flight was in April 2004. There is no need for hearing aid or hearing protection, I should say. You have to remember I'm using a directional microphone and amplify the sound to optimize the volume, but you're picking up on much more detail with the mic than I am picking up over here, where the noise can dissipate in all directions. So you guys might think it is, you guys probably think it is louder over here than it actually is. Right, well, we're warming up for 3 queens that are going to land in the next half hour. The reason I am sticking out for a bit longer than we're warming up with a lovely E2 Ember 195. Which I have to say sounds a lot like the GE90 when using the reverser. Again, moody, cloudy skies. You can see rays of sunshine poking through the clouds all over. Lovely view. The wind still blowing from the west. Now a bit more than in the beginning of the stream, but still very manageable here. Another airplane arriving from London Heathrow, KLM Flight 1024, 737-800, flight time 47 minutes. 12-year-old airplane, first flight May 2011. Right, Vueling in the old livery, returning. Flight 1377 arriving from Alicante. And the first of the final 3 queens also visible already. In the foreground, A320 arriving from Alicante, Vueling, flight 1377, Airbus A320-200, 16 years old, first flight May 2007. Have the remaining queens already been assigned a runway? I'm assuming it is going to be by the Velderbaan, this runway. Just to be sure. Alright, number 8 worldwide most tracked on flight radar right now. Air China Cargo, flight 1023, arriving from Chengdu, China. 747-400, freighter, flight time 10 hours and 4 minutes. The airplane is 17 years old. First flight, April 2006. All queens assigned by the Velderbaan. Thank you, Jindrosek. So all the queens you see on flight radar will be landing right in front of us, like this airplane is now doing. Fantastic. Now, getting rid of the USB cable, getting rid of the interference for the final two queens. We should make it with what we still have. And you have no interference disrupting the audio. Alright. Two airplanes already visible. First up, an A319 from Lufthansa, arrival from Munich, followed by an A321 from Egypt Air, arrival from Cairo. The goods have also awoken and are making a little bit of ruckus. Right, Lufthansa flight 2304, arrival from Munich, A319, flight time 1 hour and 8 minutes. 25 years old already, this airplane. First flight began in August of the year 1998. Egypt Air up next. Oh, and the Queen is moving to the parking on this side of the terminal building. Not going via the westerly side, but might have something to look at as entertainment between the landings. Egypt Air flight 757 up next, arriving from Cairo, A321neo, flight time 4 hours 27 minutes, brand new airplane, first flight May 2023. windows are beautifully illuminated by the sun, reflections all over. So we can say that we have all seen the lights today. Anyway, take in this glide slope shot, ladies and gentlemen. Coming up first is the Sunweb special livery from Transavia. For those of you who don't know, Transavia is a Dutch airliner and Sunweb is a Dutch travel agency where you can book ski trips like I always do, for instance. This airplane is returning to the Netherlands from Malaga in Spain, and it looks like the picture isn't correct. Where am I? Do I have the wrong airplane selected? Ah, it's the next airplane. My bad. These Transavias all look the same. No, it is supposed to be a special livery, but it isn't. So it was supposed to be a Sunweb livery, but and look at that, ladies and gentlemen. It's as if the world is on fire. Right, well, Turkish A330 arriving from Istanbul. Flight 1957. Now the Airbus A330 has the potential to get loud, has the potential to generate some nice spray. Flight time 3 hours 4 minutes, that's par for the course. Always around 3 hours for Istanbul, Amsterdam. The airplane is 8 years old. First flight December 2014. After that, the next Queen. That was Captain Letdown flying the airplane. Hopefully Captain Showboat is flying the Qatar cargo. Now number 9 worldwide, tracked by 264 people, arriving from Doha, flight 8203. It's a Boeing 7478. The airplane is underway now for 6 hours and 9 minutes. 6 years old, first flight January 2017. We have one more Queen to go. The next airplane after this 747 is going to be Latam cargo, arriving from Miami, 767-300, also very nice. First, the 4th Queen of the show already. All right. One more Queen to go. We're also seeing a BizJet taking off from runway 22 in the meantime. Latam Cargo Flight 1506 arriving next from Miami, Florida, where it departed 8 hours and a minute ago. Boeing 767-300 ER, 15 years old. First flight was in May of the year 2008. Come on, mates. Where's the reverser? We've seen the 737s using their reversers, the Embraers using their reversers, but then the heaviest today. Okay, well, this is at least what I'm now looking at, directly facing west with the camera. The world still seems to be on fire if you look like this. If you look this way. Now, 2 more airplanes left for today's show. The penultimate is arriving, and the ultimate, the last one, also visible already. This is KLM Flight 1180 arriving from Linköping. Embraer 175 has been flying for 1 hour and 28 minutes. The airplane, 6 years old, first flight July 2017. And after that, the last airplane of the day, Cargolux arriving from Nairobi. Oh, flat landing. No reversers. Well, in that case, we are done with them. Last airplane of the day, ladies and gentlemen, at the moment number 7 worldwide, tracked by 540 people. It is Cargolux Flight 2605, operated by Cargolux Italia, arriving back to the Netherlands from Nairobi. Flight time has been 8 hours and 45 minutes as we speak. The airplane, 17 years old. First flight was in November 2005. It is a Boeing 747 freighter. Well, at least they delivered on using the reversers. Very happy to hear that. spray already seems to have gone, but there you go. That was the last airplane of today's show, ladies and gentlemen. I want to thank you all so much once again for tuning in. If you like what you saw and you haven't done so already, don't forget to drop another like. We are at 600 likes right now, 601. Thank you all so much for that. Also a very big thank you to everybody who became a member, who donated memberships, who super chatted, super stickered, super liked, or no, that was that's something different. Thanks to everybody for your support. Also the people who donated through PayPal or bought something from the merch shop. You guys are the best, and this channel wouldn't be anything without you. And also people without who the channel wouldn't be anything are the moderators. Thank you all once again for keeping the chat friendly and accessible. Thank you all so much for joining. I hope to see you on the next one. Tomorrow the weather should be good, so I'm looking out to go in the morning again tomorrow morning. Probably the same location, but maybe switch it up. I will have another look at the weather tonight and tomorrow morning. Looking to see you on the next one. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Be safe and speak soon. Bye for now.